Welcome to the course overview for creating and running an Agile project in JIRA. I'm David Harned, and I'll be walking you through this course. A little bit about me. I'm a director of a PMO for a company called Monotype, and I work with project managers every day in highly distributed teams across US, Europe, Argentina, and India. I believe in the concepts of Agile, and I use Scrum, Kanban, and Lean as well as hybrid approaches for all of the projects that I manage. My current passion is implementation of a scaled Scrum framework using standard tools and processes to bring visibility to success all across the enterprise, not just for software. Scrum has evolved into even more. I've got lots of certifications in project management and Agile domains, including the PMI Project Management Professional PMP certification, Digital Project Manager, Certified Scrum Master, Certified Scrum Product Owner, PMI Agile Certified Practitioner, Certified Scrum Professional, as well as Certified Scrum at Scale Practitioner. I've used JIRA since 2005 and took a little break from it for a while, but at this point I use it nearly every day to execute projects with Agile teams in all kinds of different methods and projects. Let's talk a little bit about the course we're going to go through. In section 1, it's going to be about getting started with creating your project. In section 1, we're going to talk about how projects help you keep your work organized and learn why JIRA is so popular and where it came from. We're also going to talk about creating an account with Atlassian so that you can get started using JIRA on the cloud. We're going to talk about projects themselves and how we use a project to organize all of the work items. We're also going to talk about screens, workflows, and permissions, which will allow you to customize your project and the views and the notifications and permissions that go along with it. In section 2, we're going to talk about all those work items, right? We're going to talk about the difference between epics, stories, bugs, and tasks, learning what the different types of issues are and why you would use each one. We're going to talk about the attributes for those issues, learning what these different work item attributes are, how to customize them to fit your needs. We're also going to talk about managing items in the backlog. So all that stuff is going to be in a backlog in JIRA, and we're going to talk about how to define it, prioritize it, and refine it. And then we're going to talk about creating and configuring a board and how you would do that. If you're familiar with Scrum, you know what I mean by a Scrum board. In section 3, we're going to talk about running the project now that you've got it all set up. We're going to create and start a sprint. We're going to use our backlog to refine the work and then plan and begin the sprint iteration. We're also going to look at the daily Scrum and how you use JIRA to keep the team aligned and how to know whether you're on track to meet your commitment. We're going to talk about the difference between smaller stories or tasks and when to use each one. And then we're going to talk about how to close a sprint and learn how to end that sprint and what to do with any work that hasn't been finished. In section 4, we're going to talk about reporting. So we're going to talk about versions and releases, what they are, how they're different from each other. We're going to talk about burn downs. We're going to talk about sprint reports and how to read those to determine whether or not your team is doing well. We'll also take a look at velocity charts, which we can use to determine the performance of the team. We'll look at release and epic burn downs, as well as version and epic reports, which give you the ability to do forecasting, which is very powerful. In section 5, we're going to talk about searching queries. So we'll talk about JQL, what it is, how to write queries in JIRA, using simple and advanced editors, and how to export your results. We'll talk about saving and managing filters, and then executing bulk changes, and then how to use those filters to create new boards. And that will give you new views of your work items in JIRA. And then lastly, in section 6, we're going to talk about dashboards and widgets. So what a dashboard is, how you would use it, the different things you can put on a dashboard, the different layouts you can have for it, and then how to share it so that you can make sure that you're able to broadcast the results of the team and how things are going. So there aren't a lot of prerequisites for this course, just a couple of things that I thought would be helpful. One is to have a basic knowledge of Scrum. We're going to reference Scrum a fair amount as we're running an Agile project in JIRA, and so that would be helpful for you to know. And then also, it would be nice to have at least one team of people that are looking to work together, because that's what JIRA is really great for, is having a team of people work together, not necessarily just one person working on something, although it can work for that, but having a team that you can apply these concepts to once you've learned them will be really helpful. All right,